I was so excited for things like Wildstar, and I mean, I loved...
you spent months researching Wildstar.
Well, that's because it was one of the first sci-fi MMOs that was coming out that looked promising, and it had a lot of people that had worked on prior Blizzard games, doing a lot of the art direction. There were like races of like robots and stuff. It was awesome. But then it was just so laggy and unoptimized and too formulaic, unfortunately.
It had some good ideas, but for the most part, it totally was just a normal. It was just a totally normal MMO. Oh yeah, I actually haven't shown you what I've changed for the kingdom.
Supposedly people are still playing it, and because around like the art community that I like follow and I'm sort of a part of, a lot of people do commissions of people's characters, whether they be D&D characters or MMO characters, and it's interesting seeing the MMOs that people are still drawing from. I think the ones that people tend to get commissions for are their World of Warcraft characters, their Tor characters. I suppose Star Wars Tor is still going strong to some extent. Very rarely Guild Wars, but you do see it. Very, very rarely Wildstar, but there are still people that play that. A number of Final Fantasy. What was it? 14?
I see a number of Final Fantasy 14 commissions, actually. Oddly enough. Got the upgrade so the boat goes faster. Boy, does it.
But now, did you say that there were rumors that EverQuest and EverQuest 2 were closing?
Maybe. So the company that owns EverQuest 2 is in trouble for money laundering or effectively financial crimes. That's cute.
It worked! It actually worked! A jumping boat!
Remember this music from last time. Okay, I'm going to explore for a little bit, because there's a couple of islands over here. I want to see if I can get fast travel points, too. So for the EverQuest, they had financial crimes that they're, like, being accused of or whatever.
Well, also, there was the whole fiasco of, I mean, I don't know if it's the same team, but they had started all this production for EverQuest Next, and then that...
So, yeah, what happened was Sony Online Entertainment got bought out. And replaced, sort of replaced. The leadership, the new leadership was dubiously interested in the products versus just making money off of them. So Daybreak Entertainment has been accused of quite a lot of, I'm not going to say financial crimes, but like, you know, very much like not treating their own IPs with any level of respect. So like PlanetSide, EverQuest. Fight this thing. Level 40 Tainted Medusa.
Medusa.
Here goes nothing.
I suppose it looks like the sort of Mad Hatter clown character.
Yep. Okay.
But
guess I'm safe for a second.
Take that! Don't let me down!
That worked out. Ow.
And EverQuest Next had looked so promising
EverQuest
too.
Next looked awesome.
They were sort of like, they were, I wouldn't say crowdsourcing ideas, but they were...
It had a lot of community interaction
and stuff. They wanted to know what people wanted to see next and what concept art there were. The stylization was pretty.
Yeah, I remember playing EverQuest Next Landmark. And it was bad at the time, but it had potential. It looked really nice. And, you know, the idea of playing a sandboxy MMO where you could deform the environment that much was actually really
and build
cool.
on it. But don't things like Arcade do that? And I think the problem with systems like that is with so many people around, eventually, wouldn't the world fall apart at some point?
Well, it's kind of one of those where you make it so that it doesn't last forever, like stuff gets refreshed.
So
that
if
makes
you
sense.
decided to take a break from the game for a week, your
You would have
homestead
to. You would have to have enough
disintegrate.
resources saved up that you could afford, like, the break. Which is actually what got me to quit, because I didn't want to play a game that, like, repeatedly.
Oh yeah, I don't like games that punish you for having to take time off from them.
Take
Like, I didn't want to have to, like, constantly get on just so I could keep my house.
Because that would be another job,
Yeah, and
not an escape.
yeah, like, I don't mind the idea of working in an MMO to kind of earn some things.
At the same time, think about it from a like hero's perspective in like D&D campaigns and stuff.
Make yourself useful.
If you had to be shackled to a house and everything that you worked for had to be funneled into that, it wouldn't be fun. You wouldn't have the freedom to quest and explore beyond the bounds of, wow, this thing is actually harming you. Okay, well, at least you're getting their health up.
Yep, I'm just.
Oh, a 3-leaf and a 4-leaf soarway
Yeah.
is sort of like their system for expanding their potency. That's fun.
Ow. God. Really? That's.
Oh wow, you lost one.
Yeah, unfortunately, this thing is really
Sorry
tough.
for the yawn.
It is exactly the same level as.
Lofty, what are you doing? Just standing there?
Lofty's always just standing there. Like, that's the thing about Lofty. He's not even a cheerleader. He's just kind of adjacent. Ow.
I mean,
Glad
maybe
picked
the
up all
problem
that.
is you need to be using
Okay.
Evan for Lofty to do
No,
anything
so
of
what-
value.
What Lofty does is eventually. He's the one that chucks healing items. Constantly. And also those, like, power-up orbs. Remember earlier when we were in the cave and Roland kept, like, going into super mode?
Done for.
Okay, let's use one more Angel's Tears. I think I've got a lot of them. I don't actually know how many of these I've got saved up at home, but
Okay.
I'm not too worried. Okay. And then I'll just save the character switching for when we're, not in immediate threat of death.
It's almost done.
Okay, yep, it's almost done. And then we can leave. I'm sorry for fighting this thing, it was just the right level, and I was like, eh. And, ow. Well,
Level
there we go.
up.
Yeah.
All yours.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. I was really looking forward to EverQuest next, because it looks really fancy. Oh, now she's in super mode.
Well, I
Yay.
think there was also the whole prospect of, like, the world changing around you depending on
Well, yeah,
what people succeeded in accomplishing
yeah.
and such.
Kind of trying to do what Guild Wars started doing, but didn't really succeed. I don't know.
But
Someday...
it just never, obviously never took off. I remember they had, like, little mini novellas coming out to...
They weren't very good.
They weren't that good, but it was interesting how they were incorporating, like, sentient dragons. I thought that was pretty neat.
Oh, hey.
I wish that dragons were characters in more media.
Skills.
Because for the most part, well, I suppose in WoW versus Guild Wars 2, WoW has sentient dragons that are actually quite amicable. In Guild Wars 2, it's just, they're the big brads
Yeah. I don't know.
that
It
want to
varies.
destroy and consume
Both
all.
work for me. Doesn't bug me. Yeah, this is the other place that I wanted to go to. This is an
Ooh.
airship spot, though. Probably?
Well, there's a cave.
Yeah, I can go to it. The warp point's up above. So I don't think I can actually do anything. I'm just gonna take a peek. Level of these things. No, they're the same level as us. I still don't... I don't care right now. Like, I would actually like to progress the plot. I just wanted to look at some things. Because I've been staring at these constantly.
Well, I didn't. There was definitely like a dark fairy in their midst. Maybe just because we were in the middle of the cavern.
But I don't know. Maybe we were able to get access to that earlier. There's also this.
Oh.
But I legitimately have no idea how to get up there. Probably airship.
Yep. Or from the inland.
Hold on. No. Because you can come down from the up above area. So there's no way to, like, get off here. Just want to look. But yeah, I think the problem is MMOs are hitting that point. So back in, like, the mid-2000s when MMOs, like, really became super popular, it was super easy for them to make the combat systems and, you know, not feel behind the times. Whereas nowadays...
Everyone's expecting flashy action
Well,
combat.
like, yeah, well, not even flashy action combat, good combat. Like, part of the reason why I refuse to play most MMOs...
All those animations and such.
They're not even interesting. It's just like... Oh, okay, so I stand here, I press 1, 2, 3, and 4. Are these just all pebbles? Why?
I'd like to see
dumb.
more games with cooperative puzzles and such.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
There aren't many of them. Well, there is a game. You kind of poo-pooed it.
What are you talking about, Warframe?
No. The 39 Days to Mars game.
I haven't poo-pooed it. We just haven't actually played it.
I had suggested it to you, and you're like, meh. I was like, alright.
I was probably tired,
you
having
were
just
probably very
returned
tired.
from
Okay,
a
can't
very,
get up
very
there.
long trip halfway across the country. And I know that there's also things like the secret world and stuff that have mysteries to uncover.
Yeah, I'd love to do a series, or at least a little bit of Secret World, just to see why the side quests were so
we
good.
start series with Keith and then we never finish them.
The problem is, like, so many of them are so long. Like, Divinity Original Sin was 100 episodes long, and it almost broke our ability to, like, play together for a while. Like, playing that game legitimately made Bird depressed. So,
Aww.
I can kind of understand. I hope this loops.
It made me have performance anxiety, but that's just because I didn't know when I was going to be reprimanded for making an incorrect move, I suppose you should say. It was very easy for me to click on something and then have my character do something that I did not intend because I thought that I had selected a skill and then selected the spot where I wanted to activate the skill, but nope. You select the slot and your character just starts running in that direction and just completely wasting their turn. It's like, no, that's not what I wanted, no.
You see Wandering Through to Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 multiplayer? There's multiplayer in that game?
Really? There's multiplayer in Roller Coaster Tycoon? I always had Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, damn, I'd do that. I want to do OpenTTD. Nobody wants to do OpenTTD with me, but I want to do
do trains. No trains.
I want to do trains.
No trains.
Trains are awesome. The problem is it's just painfully long. It's like Factorio. So Junkyard Mire. Yeah, that's Broadleaf.
Yeah.
Right there. All right. In we go.
I mean, there's giant gear.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no,
This place don't look so good.
That's a dump. With some toxic
and then
waste.
some. Whoop.
Maybe a mine or two.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do that. Multiplayer is always hard. Unfortunately, Bird's just not feeling well right now. I think, being a working man is tough on him. And
I mean,
promotions, all of the crap that you have to deal with other people when your like income is on the line. kind of very glad I don't have to think about that much.
Whoa, that thing is way out leveled you.
Yeah, well, we're on a whole new zone, territory, whatever. Let's see, save file 1, save file 2. I was about to say, like, man, we put some hours into this game, and I'm like, wait a second, no, I put some time magic into this game. No, I'm gonna fight it anyway.
You just ran headlong into it, okay?
Well, most of them are only in the 40s. In fact...
It's just the one that's higher level over to the far left?
Yeah.
What kind of goos are they?
Spangloos!
Spanglu? Why, are they just sparklier than... Spangle?
I guess so? I don't know. I figure we can probably fight most of these guys. They can't be harder than the shadowed enemies. And this is good EXP.
Well, you're gonna need to use them to level up anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so they have industrial quagmires.
Blasters.
Here goes nothing.
Arid wastes without any, well, very sparse vegetation and little to no fresh water. Yep. This is definitely a place that has been ravaged by rampant use of industrial technology.
With the name Broadleaf, I expected more trees. I expected, more
Well, that's
trees.
the thing. They were once, probably a heavily forested realm up until they started chopping down all their trees to use as fuel for their machinery, and then, that was the end of the forest. Think back to Princess Mononoke. Iron Town was chopping down tons of trees to burn in their metalworks. Well, also they were just clearing the mountainsides to mine for iron, which is what they would smelt, by also burning wood.
You can't get down to this treasure chest. I was wondering about that.
Just reminds me of Lord Akoto at the very beginning of the Princess Mononoke doing the whole intro of, like, once the land lay covered in forest, where for ages long past dwelt the spirits of the gods.
And then the humans
Watch your
started
backs.
pooping it. And everything became a problem. Whoops. I missed.
I used to actually have that entire movie memorized. It was sad. In a way. I think I'd only ever memorized a couple movies in my life, but now, of course, I only remember snippets of lines.
I never cared enough about movies to memorize anything about them.
I think the only reason why I'd memorized Princess Mononoke was because I was preparing a cosplay for the first time. I was 13, and I was watching Princess Mononoke over and over and over again so that I could pause the DVD on our television so that I could, quickly sketch down what I saw of her outfit at all angles so that I could properly recreate it. And then I just watched the rest of the movie because I enjoyed it. Well, now. They even have a little kiosk bot.
Flippin' Nora!
What the flippin' heck is this place?
Oh my! So the tower is... This is the main city of Broadleaf? I've never seen anything like it.
Hey!
It's starting now. Oh, sorry.
He's so tired.
Starting? What is? You kidding me, right? You don't watch the news? The anti-Vector faction's holding a big demonstration.
Wow.
Really? Against the president?
Yeah.
Yeah, up at the landing pad, or so I heard. You think we should go take a look? You bet I do. A protest, huh? Guess the stories about people here being unhappy were true.
I suppose we'd better go and make us. Blah, 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 blah. I was gonna make ourselves look like something. I'm like, wait, no, I'm seeing the ourselves before the rest of the stuff. I suppose we'd better go and take a look ourselves.
But first, travel.
And
Want to look around.
I do want you to talk to one of the kiosk droids. Oh, really? They do the beep boops?
Yeah, they do the beep boops. And they sell things. I actually don't have that
Why
much
do they look like they have
solar
fuses
array.
on their head, or is that just an antenna?
That's like an antenna, it looks like. Should probably just sell all of my, like, old, crappy equipment.
I do like the gears in the environment.
Hey,
Hey, you. What do you want? Only authorized personnel are allowed down here. Oops. Well, alright.
I'm sorry, sir. Sheesh.
Go on this way. Guess we're supposed to go up here.
You're not gonna talk to that lady there?
Why?
Because she might have something useful to say. Some insight.
How about I'll
as
talk
into
to
the-
this man, and then this man, and then this lady. Let's talk to
Well,
this
hi
lady.
there.
Oh, aren't you just the cutest? You're absolutely adorable. Say, would you like a part in my play? What's that? You can't act? Well, now, that is a shame. You see, ma'am, my Kingmaker Lofty,
You just want to roleplay. That's what's going on.
my
here.
Kingmaker Lofty, he forced me to wed Tani. Of course, not in reality. It was all for show, but it actually got us thrown in jail. And
You're just showing off at this point.
what do you mean by showing off?
You just want to Evan voice it up.
I need to practice, okay? I haven't voiced Evan in a long,
Beep boop, beep
long
boop. Hi
time.
there, going up. If so, hop aboard. Beep beep. All you need to do is pick which part of town you want to go to. Never mind. I'm gonna walk. I want to actually look at this place. This is probably my favorite city so far. It reminds me of
Oh, little children, what are they saying?
No.
Oh, but I want to know what life is like in this town, and
No.
sometimes
We'll find out very quickly.
maybe this should have. And
I
I
guess
think
we
in
have to take the
I think in
elevator.
BioWare games they actually just have conversations occurring and you overhear them as you pass by. They should do that. That way you'd be forced to hear them.
Honestly, when it comes down to it, though, like, yeah, I know in RPGs you talk to everybody, but I also would like this series to end. Because, like, people always like to shame me for not talking to everybody in these games, but if we talked to everybody and did every side quest, I would lose interest in the game.
But I want to know what the protests are and what's going
Then
on.
let's go up and see the protests!
Okay.
Instead of being like, let's talk to everybody and try and piece together what little we can find about.
Oh, but look at that
this.
kid. He looks upset. Don't you want to know what's wrong?
No.
Please.
He probably lost his bipper, whatever the hell a bipper is.
I want to know
He
what's
just
going
looks
on.
tired,
I want to
dude.
look what's going on.
He's tired.
I want to know what's going on.
He's tired.
What about this
This
guy?
person, he's just a
he
rad
also has
dude having a
shades.
rad nap.
You're
Look at how many NPCs. Okay, Shell,
You're
if
terrible.
you want to, I'll let you install this on the laptop, and tomorrow you can record as many hours of talking to random people as you want.
But the lore tidbits.
All right, then can we go do some kingdom management?
No.
Then I failed to see with the reasoning here where we have to do everything you say, which is actually less productive than me managing the kingdom, which is a major point of this game.
But the story is major.
The story
point of
is
this
a major
game.
point. We're heading towards
Why
it.
would they put people there and give them dialogue to speak if they didn't have some kind
Because
of
otherwise the
lore
city would look
significance?
freakish and empty. How weird would it be to go into an RPG town and you only have the plot important NPCs? Oh boy, that would be real wacky.
Or they could have it that the people just don't have bubbles above their heads. They didn't have to give them dialogue, but they did for a reason.
We're not talking to every single person just because some
The people in that place are probably going to say,
some poor intern.
"Oh, it's wonderful to have some greenery left. Look at we're
You
in
know
this
what I like? I
conservatory."
like benches. Hey kids, shut up and listen to me talk about benches. Alright, here's a side quest to go appreciate every bench in the city. Alright, now that you've done that, there's gonna be a pop quiz and you have to go talk to my bench aficionado
Despite
friends.
the fact that this is, like, you know, the very essence of it is supposed to be mechanical, they do spend a lot of time putting flowers and
oh no, it actually looks
trees
quite nice.
about the place. So, is the protester the guy or the lady?
Well, I don't know. It's time, Bracken.
Oh, so she's the protest leader. Now the question is, I don't know what she'll sound like, because we haven't heard any of her dialogue yet. I'll give.
She's a party member, so you better get it right on the first go.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, does she have an accent, or does she?
I could always voice her.
No, you're not. Also, that was really weird. I think
All right, we better start thanking everybody
I had
for
the
coming.
right pitch for my teeth to rattle. That was so weird. All right, we'd better get started by thanking everybody for coming.
Huh?
Huh? Who are you guys? I haven't seen you around the company.
Listen,
Sorry, but things could be about to get dangerous. You'd better leave.
oh,
Oh, we were rather hoping to go and meet with President Vector. What's all this about exactly? Meet with the president. I don't think that's about to happen. Anyway, I'm Bracken Meadows. I'm chief engineer here at Broadleaf Industries. I'm the one who gathered all these people here today. We're going to try to make President Vector finally listen to what we have to say. We've got to get through to him. To make him hear that the workers that this company relies on have to say. Bleh. That this company relies on has to say. Okay, so essentially are people being overworked, underpaid? Who knows?
golly.
Well, if I can't use my horrible frog voice on her, then I guess I'll use it on this guy. He hasn't been the same since we started developing the perpetual fission reactor.
Perpetual fission?
He doesn't care about anything except for finishing the damned thing. Not even his employees' lives.
Something like 20 people have already collapsed from overwork. These conditions, they're unacceptable. What kind of leader would do such a thing?
Hey!
Hey, Bracken, he's back. I guess he's just got more of a twang than a...
Yeah. All right, let's do this.
Look!
What is that thing?
It's literally a mouthpiece,
Oh, it's a Zeppelin.
but it definitely has a mouth that
It
opens up.
appears to be an airship of some sort.
Look at the face on it!
Also, those cannons.
Mm-hmm.
That's excessive.
We're ready when you are, Bracken. Just say the word.
Wait, that's a completely different voice actor. What? Okay.
It's the guy, yeah.
Thanks, Trey. Maybe now you'll listen, Zip.
For too long, the president has been working us like slaves to get his perpetual fission reactor finished. But we have a message for him. We are not your slaves, Zip.
We're not slaves! We're not slaves!
We demand workers' rights. We demand fair treatment. We've had it with being worked half to death. No more reactor. No more overtime.
We're not slaves! We're not slaves!
Sounds like I'm gonna have to let some people go.
What's that light?
That's their kingmaker?
He is firing them from the kingdom.
Now you see what happens to those who defy me!
Finally decided to make an appearance, huh, Mr. President?
What a disappointment to see you leading this ragtag resistance. You know, I expected better of you, Bracken.
I expected better of you, too. Have you forgotten what we said when we started out? We promised to make the world a better place, remember?
And we will! The perpetual fission reactor will change the world forever! And the future will be mine to define!
Even if it means trampling over everybody who helped you make it this far? You used to care about us. You used to be a leader people could trust. But that's all gone. Now it's progress or nothing, no matter the cost. When did you get so broken?
I'm the broken one? Look at yourselves, stuck in the past, left behind by the march of progress. I don't need you anymore.
It is time.
Are we just skipping like 90% of the plot?
Yeah, I thought that there was going to be a whole subplot before we got to this point, but oh well.
I guess they ran low on budget.
Ugh.
That was Doloran.
Damn it, we're too late again. Bracken, we have to get out of here.
You're right.
Yeah, I guess we do.
What are you doing, Bastion? How dare you disobey me?
Do you really think you can stop me? Well, let me tell you something, friend. Anybody who stands in my way gets atomized!
Did he cloak or was he just defeated temporarily? Looks like Bastion's gone.
Bastion, Kingmaker of Broadleaf. I had not thought we would actually see the creature for ourselves.
Hey,
Hey! You said you were here to see President Vector, right?
yes.
Yes, that's right. I'm Evan, King of Evermore. It's a new kingdom in the Heartlands. We have come to ask President Vector to sign a pact with us and join in our union of friendly nations.
Holy!
Wait. I think I heard about you guys. Goldpaw and Hydropolis already signed up, right? And now you want us on board too? Huh? Well, I guess I don't need to tell you this. But now's not exactly a good time.
Yeah.
Lofty again. Look at that face.
Y'all are shits. I could win this war myself. One-footed. Screw you. All they need is a whiff of this diaper. Ooh boy, it wins wars.
You can say that again. If he's setting his kingmaker on his own people, imagine what he'd do to us.
You know, the Lofty face almost kind of reminds me of all those...
Oh, now Lofty's like, ah.
The Lofty face almost reminds me of all those, like, weird Zuckerberg memes. Where it's just like... Zuck, engage, smile.exe. Smile.exe. Ending. That's totally what Lofty is. He just has, like, the most inappropriate emotions at all times. It didn't used to be like that. Bracken and me, we founded this whole company with him. We know him better than anybody. Oh, it's the perpetual fission reactor. Ever since we started working on it, he's been different somehow.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this was all Doloran's doing. Who or what is Doloran? He's a strange, masked man who goes around stealing the kingsborns of all the world's great leaders. We saw him stealing President Vector's too. He pollutes people's hearts with an awful blackness so that he can control them. I'm sure that's what must have happened to the president.
Huh?
What? Are you kidding me? Then we have to help him. We'll help too, of course. I'm sure there must be a way of bringing him back to his old self.
Now,
Based on what we've seen and heard, it would seem that the president has been quite seriously infected by Doloran's evil influence. Queen Nera, being highly skilled in the magical arts herself, was capable of resisting the darkness enough. The restoring her to her senses was a relatively simple task.
if I may be so bold,
I somewhat doubt that it will be so easy in this case.
Excuse me?
You said that you and President Vector used to be close, didn't you, Bracken? Is there a way that you could remind him of those times, perhaps?
Try to snap him out of it by jogging his memory, you mean? Yeah, that could work.
You want to remind him of the good old days, huh? Well, this right here might be a good place to begin. It's where the three of us started out all those years ago. We used to do all our work in the room right through here. It's still just how we left it.
Such a place might certainly hold a clue as to how we might proceed.
Would it be all right to look around the workshop of yours, Bracken?
Uh-huh.
Sure. Be my guest.
Not more leaf book. Anything but the where am I supposed to go? Oh, other way.
We have to find a way to bring Zip back to his senses.
Oh, it's this way. I thought she said just through that door. Just through that door and through this long hallway and up the stairs and...
I guess it seems kind of small when you compare it to the offices we have now. But everything that grew into Broadleaf Incorporated we know today started here. Well, into the Broadleaf.
Yeah. And Zip recorded every minute of it. The guy was obsessed.
Yeah. It was his idea to leave this place just like this forever too, huh? So we never forget where we came from.
A fine sentiment, to be sure.
Well, shall we have a little look around here and see what we can find?
Ah!
Lofty. Well, that's red.
Oh, nope. You obtained Behemoth
Memolith? Memory stone? That's what a memolith would probably be. A lith is stone memory.
Probably, yeah.
Bracken, I found this. Is it anything important? Huh. It's a memolith. A pretty old one. Must be left behind from back in the day.
Oh.
What's a memolith?
Get bad itch on my shoulder.
Well, you take a crystal and run a tiny magical current through it to record visual data. Then you can run a light beam through it, focus it with a prism lens, and watch the data back whenever you want. By which I mean, in layman's terms, it's a device you can use to record memories.
Golly.
And we can watch them now. The ones on this memolith, I mean.
Uh-huh.
Sure. Let's play it back and see what we have here.
Hey, Bracken, there's something up with this circuit. Can you take a look?
Sure, let me see. Yeah, I think you're getting some leakage right about here. Okay, leave it with me and I'll see what I can do.
Oh, that'd be great, thanks. I can't wait to get the crystal battery up and running. This thing's gonna be a game changer for the energy business. The technology we build here today will make a better tomorrow for everybody. I can feel it.
Me too. Wow.
Wow. That was from way back when we first started out.
Yeah!
Perfect. Then we can use it to jog the president's memory, right?
I'd say so. A picture's worth 1,000 words, after all. Sure would be good to have a couple more than just this one, though, to be sure, just to be sure, though. Sorry.
Are there any other memoliths from back then, Bracken? Zip was kinda hot in destroying sensitive data. If it wasn't essential to the running of the company, it pretty much all got wiped. But I took a look at the database just now, and it seems like 4 memoliths are still unaccounted for. Which means there may be another 3 out there somewhere.
If we could find all of them, that ought to be enough to jog his memory for sure. But it seems a little unlikely that we're going to find them just lying around like we did this one.
You're right.
Sure, it's unlikely, but I have an idea how we might be able to maximize our chances. If those memoliths went missing, somebody probably lost them. So the first thing we do is go to where the most people are, the factory. All right, let's head for the factory and look for those memoliths.
Thanks.
Thanks for helping me out like this, you guys. Reckon temporarily joined the party.
That's a lie. She's a permanent party member. Let's see. So she uses hammers and guns.
Yep.
Well, let's see. What's her?
That makes sense.
Well, give me a second. Back to Evermore.